Good morning. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Welcome to Tea Time. I'm excited you're here today. Let me know as you are hopping on and able to see me today. Just say hello. I would love to say hi to you guys. I have a little bit of chatter to do this morning because it has been a crazy time since I saw you guys last week on Tuesday. So I know a lot of you have probably been seeing in the weather that the Midwest has been hit with snow and freezing temperatures. And amidst all of that, Maddie, our oldest daughter, had a volleyball tournament this weekend in Kansas City, about 3 hours away. And so we tried to get out of town early to beat the storm, which was happening on Thursday evening. So on Thursday, I left straight after work, headed down to Kansas City, and have been staying there for 5 days. Their tournament went through yesterday because it was Martin Luther King Day. The kids had school off, and so I feel all sorts of discombobulated. Like, I've been staying in a small hotel room for 5 days. I feel like I have not slept well. I haven't been sleeping in my own bed. I'm sure all of you know that. I feel like the older I get, the harder it is to sleep somewhere else. Is anybody else on board with that thought train? I don't know. I guess maybe it's just a process of getting older and not being able to fare quite as well. The back, the neck, noises and the creaking and the waking up many times. So anyway, that's been my kind of experience. And now we get back yesterday afternoon, and maybe a few hours after we returned, we got the email from the schools that they're canceled again today for inclement weather. I think because of the cold. The snow has kind of been cleared from the roads, but the cold is just bitter, and I think our buses have a hard time starting, and they don't want kids standing out at the bus stops or walking to the bus stops in this frigid negative temperatures. So here we are again, trying to find somewhere for our children to go so I can be here with you today. And I am super excited about that. I made it. I'm here. And I'm finally going to pull up comments after all of my chatting and see who is here with me today. Hello, Pam, out in New Jersey. Denise is here in Washington. Hi, Jennifer. Frozen in Tennessee, too. You guys usually don't get super cold down there, I don't think. Debbie, yes, very cold and icy. Hello, Kelly. 8.5 inches of snow. I know. I don't even know. I didn't even ask how much snow we had, but it looks like a few feet of snow. The piles in the streets and on the sidewalks and everywhere are just huge. My husband did a ton of snow blowing over the weekend while we were gone at the tournament, and I know he's pretty exhausted from that. So hello, Regina. Good to see you here today. Angela's here. Way more than expected in Lebanon. Hello, Lauren, up in Canada. Did you guys get snow up that way too? I know you guys are probably used to the snow. Parts of Canada get lots and lots of snow. So, hello, Janine. Michigan, in frigid Michigan. Kim, at least a foot of snow in Illinois. Yes, Mindy says, I'm freezing. I feel that way all the time, and just extra freezing now. So very thankful for the remote start in my car, so I can start it about 15 minutes before I want to leave, so at least I can get it a little bit warm. It was so cold even down in Kansas City. I could barely hold on to my steering wheel to drive because it was just that cold. It felt like a frozen iceberg in my hands as I'm trying to turn corners. But yes, it has been kind of crazy the last several days, and I am just excited to be back home, excited to hang out with all of you and share with you what we have for today. So if you've been around Tailored Expressions for long, then you are here because you know Tuesdays are release day. At 9 a.m. we released our latest products for you guys, and this week we have designed a very concise, I will call it. I don't want to call it small, a concise release for Valentine treat giving. And we have some really fun ways that you can make little candy treats, or I'm going to show you some other things that you might want to gift this year if you're not into gifting candy. Plus, we have our annual Kids Valentine Kit. And this one is called Marvelous Monsters Valentine Kit for kids to make Valentines for their classmates. So that's something big here in the Midwest. Our kids always make or give some kind of Valentine. And a lot of them are bought at stores, but every year I love to come up with something creative that our kids can do, that we can sit down and even do with our kids to make those memories and create those fun handmade projects. So I'm going to share that today as well. Should we do that? Sally says winter is a spectator sport. I'll watch, but I won't participate. I love that. Yes, I am going to use that one. Winter's a spectator sport. I am a spectator this winter. My husband is doing the participating with all the snow shoveling, and the kids are doing the participating with all of the sledding and the fun outdoor activities. I think it's really interesting when school cancels for cold. Or for weather, and then the first thing the kids ask is, can we go outside? Like, no, you don't want to go outside in this. It's freezing. Okay, so let's get to chatting about what we have for you today. And I'm going to start with, let's actually move down in front of me and you can see a little bit of all of the goodies that are in this release, and I'll talk more about those as we get started. Some fun 3D items for treat giving. And I'm going to move a few of them out of the way. We'll be crafting them together, so please stay tuned for lots of tips and tricks because these are 3D items, and so I have tips and tricks on how you can best put them together. There are some best practices for putting these together. So let's look at that Kids Valentine card kit first. Like I said, every year we do something a little bit different. And this year, the idea behind the kit is to make it really easy for kids. So last year we had a really fun kit that had quite a lot of blending. There was a layering stencil, some die cutting. You had to die cut sentiments and your blended pieces. It was super cute and super fun, but when I sat down to do it with my child, it took a little bit longer than I was expecting. So this year's kit, we did more cutting for you, and we created this really fun kit that's going to be easy to finish up 30 Valentines in no time. So there are enough pieces in here to get 30 Valentines, which I think is a pretty large class size. So my children have 24 to 27 in their class, and so I thought 30 was a good number to get these to get in this kit. Now, if you are not a kid but you like to give little treats, listen up. This can be a Kid at Heart Valentine kit as well. So this doesn't just have to be for the kids, but here is what that includes. Everything you need to create these adorable little monsters that you see up here. So we have die cut those monsters for you out of these colors. There are 5 different colors, and you get 6 monsters in each color for a total of 30. They're already cut for you and ready to go. That's what makes this kit so simple. Then we also have a pack of 30 of these red hearts. So the hearts are designed to be the belly of your monster. You can glue them on, you can write to from, you can stamp a sentiment in there. Lots of ways. You could even stamp them with a pattern or stencil them with a pattern if you wanted to do a cute little tone-on-tone heart belly pattern. You could do that too. So those are the die cut pieces included. And then each kit includes this 3x4 stamp set that has some different options for stamping the mouths onto your little monsters. And then, of course, you need eyes, and so we have a package of googly eyes. There are more than you need, so there are 100 googly wiggle eyes, if you will, in this package in various sizes. So you can see on some of them, we have 2 eyes, we have 3 eyes, we have lots of eyes. So let the kids be creative and put as many eyes as they want. This one is cute. He only has 1 eye. So go ahead and get creative with the number of eyes you're putting on your little monsters. Now, we did have a group come into our studio, a group of kids, and so we have a video out on our YouTube channel. It went up today, And so you can see how the kids had fun creating Valentines for their friends. You can see some of the ways that they use the different elements. I love it how they got creative. I mean, some of them put eyes on the arms. So we have monsters with arm eyes. They also use these fun little pieces in the stamp set to create hairy arms. This one has little kind of tick marks that can look like hair if you stamp them all over the monster or the belly. We have some designs that you could stamp on the belly as well. So really fun and easy to customize. You will notice if I pull these back up into the screen, I wanted my teeth to be white, and so on these little samples that I quickly put together, I just used a white gel pen to color in the teeth. So if that's not something you have, you might want to grab a white gel pen at the store, at the website, and you can do that on your samples as well. All of the kits also include a couple of supplies. We have the Let's Stick Together glue tube, and this is a great way for kids to be able to just use a small amount of glue to glue on their little hearts to the belly, and the eyes are not self-adhesive, so they'll have to add some glue to the back of those to put them on. And then if they want to stamp the back, let's see, I have Happy Valentine's Day on the back of this one, and then a from, and then they could sign their name. You can also stamp those details on the front if they want to do that. Here's another look at what the back looks like on these. So we have an Oreo mini ink cube, and it just makes it really easy for anybody to grab one of these kits and craft along. You don't have to have a ton of supplies. I think maybe an acrylic block might be all that you would need that would be helpful to use this stamp set that's not already in the kit. So let's get this all put back in, and I'm going to show you one more thing that we created to go along with that kit that's available as a separate purchase. And we made it a separate purchase because I think this is going to be a useful die for just about anyone's collection. It's something that I've often wanted, and we thought now is the perfect time to get that out there. So a lot of times you make these cute little treat guys, and maybe you have a piece of candy that you can put a glue dot and kind of clasp his arms together and hold that piece of candy in place. I know at our schools they do not allow you to do candy or food as a Valentine treat, so we have to come up with some other options. And often I want to be able to attach that, whatever it may be. This is a gel pen if you wanted to give little pens or pencils. If you are allowed to give food, you could do little pixie sticks or even glow sticks. I know glow sticks are a big thing for my kids. You can still clasp the arms around the treat, but you need some way to hold that thin treat in place. And so you can see here I have cut 2 slits, and you can do something like that with an X-Acto knife, but we have created this die. It's called Treats Go Here. It looks very simple. It's just 2 lines. This is made out of our deeply etched die material, so it cuts through 2 layers of cardstock at one time very easily. And so you can see I've got the belly that it's cutting through and the base of the monster. So just a little bit easier than trying to measure and line it up and get it perfect with your X-Acto knife. Another little treat that you could consider that I've got in here is, see if I can get his little arms apart, but I bought these little treats for my daughter Charlie. I think she'll have fun giving these to her friends this Valentine's Day. And these are slap bracelets. So you can see my little slits there from the Treats Go Here, and then I just rolled the slap bracelet up and clasped. The arms are too small to fit around the top of the bracelet, but you can still clasp the arms underneath the slap bracelet. So that's what we'll be doing for Charlie's treats this year. I haven't quite decided on Henry yet what he's going to give. I'm thinking maybe some glow sticks inside of these monsters. And I have graduated one child from the Valentine treat giving. Maddie's in 6th grade now, so no treat giving for her this year. But the other 2 kids are going to have fun with these. So there's that Treats Go here in case you want to add that onto your order. And I'm going to show you kind of a unique way that you could use this Treats Go here a little bit later on in the video in case you want to give something other than a monster treat. I'm going to show you how you can use it on a tag to slip another kind of treat in for our adult friends. Okay, so that was the kids kit. Now let's take a look at our special bundle for this release. And I am going to start by saying this bundle is available in very, very limited quantities. So I know we have less than 50 of these currently available. We did an early release to our Rainbow Royalty, and we knew we had limited quantities just based on availability of one of the items in this bundle. But we still wanted to bring it to all of you because it's very convenient to have everything you need together to create this cute, cute project. So let me talk through the elements in the bundle, and I'm going to show you what's in that picture at the top right of your screen currently is the cute little strawberry treat box. So we have our authentic berry picking box. And then you've got these cute little strawberry boxes that you can put inside. You can fill with all kinds of little treats like the, I have some Hershey Nuggets here that I'm going to be using today. You can use Hershey Kisses or Dove chocolates. Or if you like little trinkets, you could do like a bouncy ball or some other little things like that. A pair of earrings, if you like to gift those, would fit nicely inside. So really fun way to, I have 5 of the berries in here. They're quick and easy to put together. And then in the bottom, I've just used something that I had at home here. I've got that craft colored crinkle paper in the bottom of my berry box. So that would be the only thing not in this bundle and not available at TE if you just get your own crinkle paper or make your own crinkle paper to kind of nestle your berries on top. So there's that cute, fun little treat. Wouldn't that be fun to get maybe on your desk if you've got a special coworker that just brings you joy? Grandkids, they get to have the fun of opening more than one little treat container to see what's inside each one. So here's what's in that bundle, and the main pieces of this bundle are also available separately. So I'll talk about the items first, and then we'll go back through and talk about what's available individually, just in case you're not able to get your hands on one of these limited quantity bundles. So this here is the cardstock that comes in the bundle. We've got the lollipop and cherry pop cardstock, and then we have pea pod. So the lollipop and cherry pop will be used for your base of your strawberry, and then there's less sheets of the green because you only need to use the green for the top of your little berry box. So you don't need quite as much of the green. So there are a total of 15 sheets in the pack. We have 6, 6, and 3. Then we have the dies to create the berry box. It's called Berry Sweet Treat. And it has that base of the box, which I'm going to show you how to put that together. And we have the top of the strawberry as well. And then we've got the little stamp set that has love you very much, you're the very best, you're so sweet, thank you very much. XOXO is great for Valentine's Day. And then we have a for you in that one as well with a couple of icons, a little heart, and a strawberry. So those are designed to fit on our previously released mini tags dies. I think actually I called that the wrong name. I think they're called itty bitty tags. You can see what those look like here. You might already have those in your collection, but if not, that's what these sentiments are designed to fit on. So you might want to grab that extra in the store if you don't have something small to tie onto your little berries. Now also in the bundle we have our berry boxes. Like I said, these are kind of authentic berry picking pint size boxes, and they're really fun way to wrap up a little gift. Even if you're not putting strawberries in here, they're kind of fun way to play with gifting. And you can put that crinkle paper in the bottom, maybe tie up a cellophane bag with your treat in it and a ribbon around the front, and it turns out really fun and cute. And then last we have the twine here. This is the celery colored twine, and it's a baker's twine with 110 yards on the roll. So that's a lot more than what you'll need to make strawberry boxes with, but I'm sure you all in your crafty rooms can find a use for another baker's twine. So that is the bundle. Now let's talk about the items that are available outside of the bundle. I'll put those here in front of you. So just in case that bundle is sold out, you can get these items separately so that you can create your berry sweet treat boxes. You can put them in your berry boxes, your pint sized little containers, and those are sold in a set of 5. So you get 5 of those in a set. And then lastly, the stamp set. So you can add your little berry themed punny tags to the strawberry boxes. So these are all available outside of the bundle if that bundle does happen to be sold out. Let me show you the samples again so you can see those. This is what we're going to be making. I'm going to show you how to put this together on the live today. You can see that I did a little tone-on-tone polka dot on the bottom, and then I stamped the little top piece here with a gingham background stamp and tied on a thank you very much tag. I'll show you some tips for putting the candy inside so you can see the sizing of all of that. And I actually tied mine up with some burlap twine. So we'll get to that a little bit later. I already showed you what it looks like if you were to create and put those strawberries in one of the boxes. I think 5 is a great number with a little bit of paper in the bottom. If you don't put paper in the bottom, you might want to add a couple more strawberries to this. And there's what it looks like with the little tag tied on. And then we're also going to make this. This uses some previously released strawberry products. I created these little tags using that die, the Treats Go Here die, and I have purchased these little strawberry flavored chapsticks that kind of slip down into our berry basket die with strawberries out of the top. We've got that really fun mini gingham, let's see, what's it called? Gingham check background. I've been using that a lot this release with these fun strawberries. So another way you could make a cute little treat for your coworkers or maybe someone who who's a little bit past glow sticks. Here's another option for something you can put inside your treat basket. All right, next up, we have one more item to show you, and then we're going to get crafty together. This is another great one for kids. I don't know a child who doesn't love suckers. So this die is called I'm a Sucker for You, and if you guys know the Jonas Brothers, I think that's one of their songs, and it's going to be playing in your head all day if it isn't already. If you don't know it, then Google I'm a Sucker for You and see if you can take a listen to that song. So this is a set of 2 dies, and they do include stitching around the outside to give it just a little bit of extra kind of pizzazz without any extra work on your part. And then I also added polka dot to the flower, and I stamped, like I said, I've been using that gingham check background quite a bit. I stamped a tone-on-tone onto pea pod cardstock, and that's going to be the leaf for the bottom part of my sucker treat. So why don't we go ahead and put this together? I've got a couple of different suckers. I have found that the larger suckers work better in here as opposed to the dum-dums. It is sized for a larger sucker. I have one of the Charms suckers that has gum in the middle, and then I have a Tootsie Pop sucker too. Anybody have a favorite sucker? I know Dum-Dums have tons of flavors. Root beer, I think, and cream soda are my 2 favorite Dum-Dum flavors, but I love Tootsie Pops. The brown ones, the ones that taste like chocolate and then have chocolate in the middle. I love them. All right, so we are going to take and kind of start to fold this die together, and if you want to, you can kind of loosen it a little bit by using your bone folder. If I can get a good hold on it here, I can kind of loosen the paper just a little bit so that when I pull it together, I don't get any creasing in my die cut piece. And then as I pull it around, I'm just gonna basically adhere that little tab. You see that little tab? That's gonna be adhered behind the flower petals, just like this. So I'll go ahead and put my adhesive on there. And let me get my booger off of this. Well, I might have to use my pin this time. Let me grab this because this is going to work too. I've got a tape runner here. And we'll just put a little bit of tape runner on that, run it around the other side, and press it together. If you have like 1/4 inch or 1/8 inch sticky tape, that would work too. You do want something strong on the back of these to hold this flower together and keep it from popping apart. You could also tuck the tab to the inside if you choose. It just depends on where you're trying to hide it. I kind of hide it around this way because I figure people are looking from the top into the flower and not really looking or paying attention to the bottom. I haven't decorated the bottom. And once you slip this leaf on, that's kind of going to hide the tab around the back too. So I saw somebody ask that question, but yes, you can put the tab around the back or you can put it inside the flower. It would work either way. So then we're going to go ahead and put I'm going to go ahead with the charms this time. I'm going to put my sucker down in there, and then we're going to take the, this already has a hole poked in it, and we did make that hole tight for the sucker stem, or yeah, the sucker stick. So you do have to kind of finagle it in there just a little bit because we wanted it to hold tight at the top once you have it in there. So I'm going to kind of fold that up, fold that around. If you have a little bit of adhesive, maybe a glue dot or a little bit of liquid, you can kind of tuck that flower and leaf together so that they become more one piece instead of two. You can see this one's moving around a bit. And then you have your sucker. And I'm going to push this. There we go. I pushed it a little bit higher on the stick, so now those pieces are staying together nicely. The other thing I thought might be fun is to wrap the stick in washi tape. So I have one of our washi tapes here. This is available at the TE store. And if you just start up at the top here, and I can start going around this, sort of wrapping diagonally as I go down the stick. Pull out the washi tape and then roll a couple times. I tried to choose paper colors that would go well with the washi tape, but depending on what you have in your collection, you could do the same. And that's another way that you can get that kind of part at the top to stay here because you've added a little bit of thickness with that washi tape, and now it's not going to come off on you or slide down the sucker stick. So there it is. Wrapped the sucker stick with a little bit of washi, and you have a super cute treat. You could even tie a tag on here if you have those little mini tags and you wanted to say a little Valentine sentiment, Happy Valentine's Day. I know we've got a couple different sets with tiny sentiments in them that would be cute on these little suckers. So there's the I'm a Sucker for You. Now, let's get back to our strawberry box. Let's go ahead and decorate this one. There are so many different things you can do with these. I know if you guys check out Lori Craig's blog, she did send me her samples. Sadly, they didn't get here in time for me to show, probably because of all of the snow, but she actually made hers out of felt, and they turned out so adorable. So if you love felt creations, then you might want to grab some red and green felts, and you can cut these berry boxes and put them together with felt. She also sewed little French knots onto her red part of the felt, and they just look so cute, like little seeds in the strawberries. So there's one idea, but if you want to keep it simple too, you can also cut it out of paper. And I've got these two pieces that I've already cut. This is cherry pop and this is pea pod. So I'm going to grab my stencil. I have my mini slim polka dot stencil, and we're going to see here if you can see how that mini slim stencil fits just perfectly over our berry box. So you don't even need a very big stencil to pattern these. I'm going to put the magnets in place to kind of hold this down for me. And then I have cherry pop ink to do a tone-on-tone blend of polka dots over the top. And sometimes when you're using the magnets, you do want to move them out of the way, kind of shift them as you go so that you can get a blend in all of the open spaces without running into magnets. Susan says, I haven't worked with felt in a long time. Will it actually hold the shape of the strawberry, or will it smush down with time? So I was wondering that same thing, and so I was glad that Lori kind of took the challenge and tested it out for us. She said they hold their shape really nicely, and you don't have to worry about the smushing. So hooray. Okay, so that is done now. I need to grab my alcohol spray bottle. That's what I don't have. Hold on just a second. Okay, I made it back. I need to wash this quick so I can keep working on my surface here. Ta-da! We're ready to go again. Hopefully those of you who wanted a glass board got your orders in. We ended that pre-order last week for our large magnetic glass boards. I am just loving mine as a work surface. Okay, next we're going to take our Misty here, and I'm going to place down this is the gingham check background. Place that down here. I've got a couple of these die cut, so I'm just going to go ahead and do both of them. So I've got an extra, and my future self will thank me for that. All right, that looks good. I'm actually using cilantro ink over the pea pod cardstock. And I just inked one side of the background so that I don't have to worry about wasting my ink on stamping just onto the grid paper of my Misty. So cute. Look at that. Adorable little, that pattern just reminds me of farm and fresh and all that good stuff. Okay, so let's take our strawberry box then. I've got my bone folder, and we're gonna go ahead and fold on the impress lines of the die. So you'll be able to see once you do the die cutting exactly where to fold, and you can easily just give it a nice crease with your bone folder as you go around the shape. And then there's a small little tab on the end that we're going to use with our adhesive. Okay, so there it is. This is what it's going to look like when you begin to put it together. And then I'm going to show you how to thread it through to close it up at the top. So let's go ahead and put our adhesive on. Use a couple strips here of the tape runner, and we'll just fold that over, line up the two straight edges, and hold that in place. Now I've got a bag of Hershey Nuggets here. This is my favorite kind of Hershey Nuggets. Do you guys have a favorite kind? I know they come in dark chocolate, they come with almonds in them, they come regular milk chocolate. These are the extra creamy milk chocolate with toffee and almonds. And I'm gonna take them and put them back to back, and then you'll see that they fit just perfectly inside this little strawberry. And as we close it, it's gonna close just right around that treat and keep it perfect inside. Oh, that's a cute idea. Yes, Sandy says these would be fun for May Day also. That's a great idea. I always kind of forget about May Day with it being May 1st. I am known for the day before thinking, oh no, it's May Day tomorrow. Okay, so I've got that burlap twine. I'm gonna use not quite a yard of it, but I do not like to skimp on my twine because I don't like to have to fuss with things and get frustrated, so I probably use more than you would need to use. But that's what I like to do. This is about, 22 inches or so. All right, so here's how you're going to thread this. You're gonna start on what is the outside of your strawberry box, and you're gonna go from the outside to the inside on each hole. Then I'm gonna come around and go outside to inside. Keep pulling that string as you go around, outside to inside, outside, inside, and then one more. There's 5 total little petals, I guess, on this box. And you're gonna make it around so that you have 2 loose ends here, and I'm gonna just kind of shimmy those, pull one end until it matches up with the other, so I've got those loose ends about the same length. Now here's where there's a little tip for you guys. You can just draw this together and tie it. However, when you go to put your little top of your box on, your strawberry topper is gonna hang kind of wonky because your 2 ends are right here at the side of your box. So to avoid that and be able to tie it more centralized on the top, what you need to do is take one loose end of your string, and we're gonna thread it back through the opposite side of the box. So here's where this loose string comes out, and we're gonna move this other loose string and push it back through the inside of the opposite petal. And then you can see these 2 loose pieces. As we pull this box together, they are opposite each other. And you just kind of gotta start fussing with that box top, pulling those together until those petals are joined together at the top. And kind of hold it with your hand, and then you can tie it into a knot. This is sometimes where the long strings get me, because I've got long strings to be pulling on. And then this looks like we have a centralized spot for the knot. I'll keep pulling here and kind of finagling this. Oh, you guys, you forgot to tell me. I forgot to put my treat inside, and if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna put the treat inside. Okay. Don't be like me, don't forget to put the treat inside. Okay, so we'll take these 2 nuggets and we will put them back in the middle here. Okay. And then we can pull again. I'm sure you guys are all telling me that in the comments. You forgot the treat. All right, so we've got that little box pulled together, and we're just gonna pull these strings tight in the center, tuck each of the little tabs down into the box. Oh no, I pulled too tight. Well, that's not good. You don't want that to happen. I think because I had to undo it and redo my little treats inside, I pulled on my string too many times and broke it. Okay, well that means you guys get to see it again. Outside, inside, outside, inside. I'll do the fast version this time. All right. Then you can see that it really takes no time at all to do this. Okay, we've got our treat in there. We pull our little pieces together. We're going to take this piece and thread it back through the opposite petal. And then we've got our two loose strings together, and we'll pull that tight, just like that. Kind of got to hold it with your hand as you tie it together. Okay, we did it. We did it fast speed the second time. And we'll pull that together. And you can see I've got that double knotted then right here in the center. We were also talking about all these fun uses for this die at Christmas time. Doesn't this look like a little ornament that could be hanging just like this? It's kind of got a little bit of a vintage ornament shape to it. And we thought all different, of course, rainbow colors, and you could have yourself some cute little ornament looking treats. Now I'm going to take each end of that string after I've double knotted it in the center here, and I'm going to take one end and put it through one side. There are two holes in this strawberry topper, so we'll do one in this side and the other one in this side. And then we'll just pull that topper down over our strawberry. And then we can knot that into place. On top of our box. And then if you have one of those little tag dies that we talked about, I'll stamp one of those. So there's that. Cute, cute. Now that is knotted, and we can grab a little tag here. We have one of the sentiments. I'm gonna go with "You're So Sweet." Stamp that with VersaFine Claire, and then we can tie that onto again, just thread that through. And then this is where I would tie one more knot and a bow. How cute is that? You know what? The chocolate inside might never get eaten because whoever you give this to is just gonna think it's too cute to take apart. So there it is. We've got our gingham little topper with our tag and our polka dot strawberry on the bottom. So fun. Julie says, so very cute. It is. All right, so put a few of those together in your little pint-sized berry box and you have a fun little treat. Now I wanted to show you how we can use that Treats Go Here die. So I've got that, and I have a tag. I'm going to make these little tags. Where did these go? Here they are. I showed you these earlier, and I put these together with a little strawberry chapstick kind of poking out of my berry box with some strawberries. So we're going to put this together quickly before I head out for today, just so you can get an idea for another idea for how to use that little treats die that we have here. So I'm going to start by stamping this tag again with that gingham check background, and I'm going to take a quick baby wipe because I need to use toffee ink and not cilantro ink, and we'll wipe off that ink, pat it dry. Anybody else dry things with their hands ever? Sometimes I use my jeans. That's my living on the edge again. All right, so we'll grab the toffee ink then, and I'm gonna tuck this right down here in the corner. And we'll do toffee on toffee for this tag. We go. That was easy. It's going to give us that fun, fresh farmhouse look. Now I have this that I have already cut from blue raspberry cardstock, and it does have these holes in it, and I don't want to be able to see anything behind this berry box. So there is no backer for this die, but it's really easy to create your own. I'm just going to grab a pencil here. I'm going to kind of hang the box or line the box up with the edge of my cardstock at the bottom. And then I'm just going to trace on each side of the box. And then I'll take a scissors. And obviously I want my backer to go inside the die line, so I'm going to cut just a little bit inside that tracing mark, and then cut off the top here. And now this is rough. This is a rough shape, but it doesn't matter because all you're going to need it to do is fit behind your berry box. I am going to blend this with just a little bit of blue raspberry ink so it can be a little bit darker than the shade of the box die cut, because that just gives you more dimension and makes it look more realistic. So just a little shading on that cardstock, and we'll go ahead and adhere it behind this box. Farley's asking, what die is that berry box? Whitney or someone watching is going to have to find it. I feel like it's called, I don't even know. Berry, is it just called berry box? I'm not sure. Somebody, berry basket. Okay, thank you, Debbie. Yes, this is called Berry Basket, and it was released with a die set that creates these adorable little strawberries. So maybe somebody else can find the name of these, because I also forgot to look that up. But we've got these little strawberries that I already die cut out of cherry pop cardstock, and then the toppers out of pea pod. I'm going to add just a little bit of dimension to the strawberries. So I've got my bitty blender brush, and I'll just come in here along the sides of the die cut and add a little bit of darkening. I should also mention while we're just chatting here, I know I told you guys that we had some helpers in our studio, some junior stampers who came to test out the kids' Valentine kit for us, and that video is up on our YouTube channel. So if you have a chance to watch that and leave a comment for our little stampers, they would love it so much. They were so excited. Every year we do this, and for many years it was just my own kids. And now we have the kids of TE that come in, and all of our employees that have younger kids, their kids can come and do this little craft together and create this YouTube video. And they, you know, being a YouTube star is a big deal these days. So I have them convinced that they're all YouTube stars now, and they would love to see your comments. I'll be sending a link out to all the kids that participated so their parents can share it with them. But they would love to see that, I'm sure, read your comments to encourage their crafty journey. Build up the next generation of crafters. All right, so here's how that's all turning out. I've got this basket die then that's gonna fit at the bottom of the tag, and I want my little chapstick to fit behind the basket. So I'm actually gonna line up this die so that it is covered, it will be covered by the basket once we have it on there. Oh my goodness, you guys, at some point you must have been talking about different suckers that you could fit in that sucker, and somebody said C's cinnamon pops, and now I'm hungry. Now I'm officially hungry. Okay, so I do want to loosen this just a little bit to kind of make room for that chapstick. A chapstick is about the thickest type of product that you're going to get in this, unless you were to use an X-Acto knife and lengthen the little cut lines. Otherwise, this is about the thickness that you're going to be able to get inside there. So I'm just going to push that down just like that. Even if you wanted to, you could just push it into the bottom hole, and then your basket would fit here. But by pushing it into both holes, that's going to leave us a spot to adhere our basket die cut to. So I think that's going to be the best option. We'll just stick it right there like that. We've got our cute little strawberry. That was an accident. I didn't realize the strawberry chapsticks would have that on them, and then when I put it in the basket, it just looks so cute hanging out the top. Okay, so that's how that is going to sit. We're gonna put these little strawberries off to the side, so I'll take a little bit of my adhesive here and just adhere those around my chapstick. Let's go like this. And then we'll do this one. Like that. I'm going to take a little piece of burlap twine then, and we'll tie on another tag around here. If I can find my scissors, I know it was here. Here it is. So this is going to go around our berry basket. Tie it in a double knot, and then I can get another little tag here. Let's use this one. And this time I'm gonna do "You're the Berry Best." Oh no, this says "Thank you very much." Whoops. I don't think I want that, so let me switch out just a second. Here we go. You're the berry best. tie that onto our berry basket. This time I might not have left myself quite enough string. Should have made it bigger, but I think I can still get a bow out of this. Maybe. Come on. It's gonna happen. Hold on. There we go. We did it. That's what I'm trying to avoid when I cut lots of extra string for myself. I hate fumbling with strings and twines. All right, so here's what that looks like. Let's put a little piece of foam tape down the middle of our opening. And then we can pop that berry basket on top. A little bit tall, just a touch. All right. We'll go ahead and stick that on there. Then I have my hole punch that I can just punch a hole in the top and add some additional twine. Kind of angle that just a little bit. And we'll cut a good amount. I like to fold it in half. And then we put both of the loose ends through the back and thread them through the loop around the top. And then we've got a nice little tag we could tie on to another gift. If you didn't want to tie it on to something, just leave the hole out and you can just gift it just like it is. All right, let me bring back, I saw somebody had asked, when will the Facebook Live notebook be coming out so you can keep better notes on all of the projects we are making? And I have good news. I love seeing what you guys have been doing with those, but the good news is that they're going to be here soon. So keep an eye out. February, you can get your hands on one of those. Here's that cute little sucker that we put together. So lots of options. Here's more of the kids' Valentine monsters. Really fun stuff. I'll get in a little bit tighter so you guys can take a screenshot of those for those of you who are using your little Facebook Live notebooks. I love how you're taking a screenshot, printing off a little picture so you can remember all the things we made and talked about on the live. All right, here I am coming back to say farewell. I'm wondering, did anybody notice the theme on my shirt today? I've had fun looking for different things, and a friend actually, Jill Hawkins, I think, emailed me this link and said, you should have this sweatshirt. And I said, you know what, I should. So I got it and decided it would be perfect for our strawberry themed berry release today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you will find some ways to use these products to share joy with those around you and just put a smile on people's face. So thank you for hopping on today. I hope you guys are all surviving the cold blast if you are a part of that. And you will see Susan here on Thursday. She's fresh off of her vacation from Florida, so she'll be all rejuvenated. Hopefully they got their car dug out of the snow at the airport. But she'll have more to talk to you about on Thursday, so definitely plan to tune in at 10 a.m. And then I will see you next week on Tuesday.